Well, good morning, Jaginder Rana here. Topic for our discussion today is EPFO to fast track pension on higher wages. EPFO to fast track pension on higher wages. The Employees Provident Fund organization will soon put in place a mechanism to fast track processing of applications seeking pension on higher wages. The retirement fund body is aiming to start disbursement of pension based on higher wages to all eligible applicants by the end of this year. The EPFO plans to dedicate 10 to 15 regional offices for focused processing of applications, while also deploying extra manpower, including legal firms and firms empaneled by the Comptroller and Auditor General. It feels the existing workforce may be insufficient for the task, which says it will prioritize increased pension payout on higher wages for unexempted establishments and state-run companies where funds have already been received. The government may also consider setting up a task force to address legal issues as the applications get processed. The matter was taken up at the last board meeting of the EPFO, wherein the Labour Secretary had suggested expediting the process. The EPFO, a statutory body under the Labour and Employment Ministry, has received about 1.75 million applications for higher pension out of a total of 7.8 million pensioners under the scheme. So of these, 1,02,000 applications were sent back to employers for complete information as of March 2025. The EPFO issued demand letters to 3,68,000 applications for payment of additional contributions as per their wages. Of this, over about 1 lakh pensioners have deposited the additional amount. Another 47,000 members who are still in service have also deposited the higher amount. It has so far issued more than 34,500 pension payment orders and around 19,000 are in process. While the Ministry of Labour and Employment did not share the number of applications rejected, it is expected that over 500,000 applications have been rejected, prompting employers and employees representatives to seek a review of the rejected cases by the EPFO to ensure no eligible beneficiary is deprived of higher pension. So, following a Supreme Court directive on the higher pension in November 2022, the EPFO in February 2023 said employees who satisfy the conditions may, along with their employers, submit joint option application with it to avail themselves of higher pension. The Ministry of Labour and Employment plans to review the process of the surrender or cancellation of the exempted status given to employers under the Employees Provident Fund organization to protect workers' interests. Organizations employing workers above a certain threshold can seek exemption and manage Provident Fund contributions in-house under the EPFO's watch. Employers surrendering their exempted status would come under EPFO, which would then manage the PF money of their employees. So the new rules, while trying to speed up the process, would impose greater accountability on employers that surrender their exemption, according to the draft minutes of a February meeting of EPFO's Central Board of Trustees. Some members of the Central Board of Trustees have complained about issues such as inclusion of illegal migrants and other fraudulent practices, unavailability of data, and employers failing to take accountability that delays the process of surrender or cancellation of the exempted status, impacting subscribers as per the draft minutes, which as seen. The committee will be set up to look into the necessary changes needed to procedures governing the surrender and cancellation to ensure the process is transparent with a minimum scope for any fraudulent activities. The revamped standard operating procedures will also work towards fast tracking the process so that applications are processed in a time bound manner without a tag. This will help the EPFO get more subscribers. Labour and Employment Minister, who is the chairman of the Central Board of Trustees, in its last meeting held in February, directed the retirement fund body to constitute a committee to review the SOPs and to give recommendations for consideration of the executive committee and the board according to draft minutes of the 237th meeting of the CBT. Establishments that wish to manage the provident fund corpus of their employees need to seek exemption under Section 17 of the EPF Act, enabling them to manage their own PF trusts without making statutory contributions. However, such exempted establishments are statutorily mandated to provide benefits that are at least on par with those provided by the EPFO to subscribers and comply with the notified conditions of exemptions as outlined in the Act. Government data shows India had 1,002 exempted establishments as of March 31st, 2023. Managing a corpus of rupees 3,52,000 crore belonging to 3.12 million members. In the last 2 years, 23 and 24, 27 establishments surrendered their exemption, adding that 30,000 employees and rupees 1,689 crore to EPFO's funds. In FY24, 17 establishments applied for surrender against 14 in 22-23 and 3 in 2021-22. So another 15 surrender and 14 cancellation cases were proposed for consideration in the February meeting. Exempted establishments can approach the EPFO to give up their exempt status. The retirement fund body, EPFO's Provident Fund scheme under the EPF Act, provides better protection to construction workers compared to the benefits available under the framework of building and other construction workers. A regional Provident Fund Commissioner has ruled clarifying ambiguities between the two legislations. The clarification order by Regional Provident Fund Commissioner Kochi, Kochi, which would have significant implications for labour welfare across India, came after the Kerala High Court issued a directive to resolve a long-standing conflict between two major national legislators governing the social security of construction workforce. While disposing of a writ petition filed by the Viga Land Homes Private Limited, a real estate developer, the court directed the RPFC Kochi to determine which law provides more beneficial coverage for construction workers. The Employees Provident Funds and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952 or the Building and Other Construction Workers Act 1996. After evaluating the two welfare frameworks, the RPFC concluded that the EPF scheme provides superior protection for construction workers compared to the BOCW framework. BOC means Building and Other Construction Workers Act 1996. The order outlined key advantages including lifetime pension coverage under the employees' pension scheme, substantial death and disability benefits via the employees' deposit-linked insurance scheme, portability of benefits across states and employers' structured long-term savings with higher returns, and a technology-driven access to services and grievance redressal. In contrast, BOCW welfare boards, despite correcting substantial welfare cess, have challenges of inefficiency, low coverage, and underutilization of funds, and poor access to registration by design. Workers frequently struggle to access even basic entitlements under this scheme. The petitioner in the Kerala High Court had argued that employers were being subjected to an unfair dual compliance burden under both central and state welfare regime. While the EPF Act is administered nationally by the EPFO, the BOCW Act is enforced by state level welfare boards often with considerable variations in benefits delivery across states. As India continues to rely on its informal workforce to build its infrastructure and cities, the Kerala High Court led resolution could serve as a cornerstone for a more inclusive, effective, and future ready labor protection framework. Oh, by prioritizing structured, portable, and enforceable benefits, the RPFC order reaffirms the constitutional promise of social justice and sets a powerful precedent for integrating the informal workforce into the mainstream of social security. So this is all about the EPFO schemes and the benefits available now. Thank you very much.